Stefan works 60 hours a week at his family's wheat farm. Last year, he earned about $650 a month, but expenses and taxes eat up more than 2/3 of his income. Global wheat prices have dropped by half over the last decade, and Stefan says the government hasn't done enough to help affected farmers.
Every morning I check the markets. I try to make sense of it. I haven't sold the wheat I produced last year. I'm waiting for prices to go up. If they don't, I might lose everything.
He says he hasn't joined the Yellow Vest protests, but he says he shares the frustrations that have led to 3 months of demonstrations across France.
Macron is the president of the cities. He never comes to the countryside. He doesn't care.
The protests over fuel taxes have transformed into a movement against high living costs and policies that many say benefit the rich at everyone else's expense. France is the most tax-developed country in the world. In 2017, government tax revenue hit 46.2% of GDP. The country's income inequality gap has widened since President Emmanuel Macron introduced new tax policies at the beginning of last year. The country's richest 30,000 people have seen their incomes grow 17%. During the same period, minimum wage earners saw their paychecks rise by just 1%. The protests have continued despite a subsidized hike in the minimum wage, the scrapping of unpopular fuel taxes, and better benefits for pensioners. But the economy still managed to stay on its feet. GDP grew a better-than-expected 0.3% in the fourth quarter of last year, and it's expected to hit 1.5% this year. That's just short of the EU average of 1.6%.
The government didn't understand the public support. It took them time to respond. They thought the Yellow Vests were going to lose support as they disrupt people's lives, especially at the weekends.
Now, President Macron's hosting a series of debates across the country. He says he wants to hear from protesters directly and form policies based on their needs. But if the president wants to keep the cost of the unrest from getting out of hand, analysts say he needs to make sure the benefits of government reforms are felt at the grassroots level. Paolo Montecillo, TRT World.